This video is an overview of how to set up your INTEX sand filter. Shown here is the 14-inch system. Instructions are the same for the 12-inch and 16-inch sizes. Setup is simple and easy, but care must be taken to follow all the instructions and recommendations in this video and in your owner's manual. Failure to do so could result in injury or product damage. Please follow these recommendations when setting up your filter pump. Choose the location carefully. Once the sand tank is filled with sand, it will be heavy and difficult to move. The filter pump should be as far from the pool as the hoses will allow. Do not place anything near the pump that might impede the flow of air. Good air circulation is important for motor cooling. Do not turn the pump on unless the pool is filled with water to the proper level. Do not operate the pump when there are people in the pool. You will need an electrical outlet within reach of the power cord, but not closer than 6 feet from the pool. You must be able to plug the pump into an electrical outlet without using an extension cord. Use only a GFCI or RCD electrical outlet for safety. If the outlet trips the circuit repeatedly, correct the problem before using the pump. You will also need a Phillips head screwdriver, a level, stable platform which is vibration-free on which to place the system, and either a number 20 silica sand or glass media. Do not use synthetic sand. Be sure to keep children away from sand and glass media, and take precautions against sand and glass dust in the air, which can irritate eyes and lungs. Begin by removing the pump and all accessories from the packaging. Inspect for visible damage, including the laterals at the bottom of the sand tank, to see that they are not damaged. Do not assemble the pump if parts are damaged or missing. For replacement parts, please visit our website at www.intexcorp.com. Place your platform midway between the plunger valves on the pool, as far from the pool as the hoses will allow, so the pump cannot be used to climb into the pool. The platform must be placed on a firm, level surface. Place the tank support base on the platform as shown. Then, place the tank on the support base. The tank drain cap should be facing away from the center of the platform. Lower the pump motor assembly onto the tank support base as shown. The water inlet port should face the pool. Some communities require that the filter and pump be secured to the ground. Check your local requirements. Locate the leaf trap pre-filter housing. Unscrew the leaf trap housing collar with a counterclockwise rotation. Remove the cover and O-ring, and take out the filter housing nut and basket. Push the leaf trap housing against the water inlet port on the motor until it stops. Screw the filter housing nut onto the water inlet until it is finger tight. Replace the leaf basket, cover and O-ring, and replace the housing collar. It should be hand-tightened only. Tighten the air release valve on top of the leaf trap. Attach the 2 filter pump hoses to the plunger valves on your pool. Slide the hoses onto the plunger valves and secure them with the attached hose nuts. Tighten the hose nuts snugly. Do not over-tighten. Check that both plunger valves have been turned clockwise to the closed position. Connect the hose leading from the lower plunger valve on the right to the leaf trap inlet port. Tighten the attached hose nut. Using your Phillips screwdriver, remove one of the bolts from the clamp at the top of the tank and remove the clamp. Lift the pipe inside the sand tank until you see the minimum and maximum lines on the pipe. The amount of sand in the tank must be between these two indicators. Replace the pipe. The pipe hub should be centered in the bottom of the tank. To avoid getting any sand in the pipe, place the sand shield over the top of the tank. Sand in the pipe will interfere with the operation of the filter. Refer to the chart in your manual for the quantity of media required for your filter pump. Slowly fill the tank with sand, using approximately half the recommended amount. Carefully remove the sand shield to avoid getting any sand inside the pipe. Then distribute the sand evenly in the tank. Add some water to the tank. This will hold the sand in place when more sand is added. Replace the sand shield and resume filling the tank until the sand is between the minimum and maximum marks on the pipe. Remove the shield and again distribute the sand evenly in the tank. Then wipe away any sand from the edge of the tank. Please consult your manual during the installation of the 6-way valve. Improper installation can be hazardous. Carefully lower the 6-way valve onto the tank, making sure that the pipe inside the tank fits securely into the bypass valve on the bottom. There are 3 hose ports on the 6-way valve. Position the valve so that the port with the cap, the drain waste port, faces away from the pool. The water inlet port will then face the motor, and the valve's water outlet port will face the pool. To secure the 6-way valve to the tank, fit the clamp over the lip of the tank and the valve flange. Replace the bolt removed earlier and tighten it with a Phillips screwdriver. Tighten the bolt on the other side of the clamp. Check that the L-shaped O-rings are installed in the motor outlet port and in the 6-way valve inlet port. Attach the supplied short hose to the motor outlet port and the 6-way valve inlet port, tightening the hose nuts at each end. Do not over-tighten. Connect the hose attached to the upper plunger valve on the left to the 6-way valve outlet port. Double-check that the plunger valves are closed. The power switch on the side of the pump has 3 positions. The left position is on, designated by the horizontal line. The middle position is off, designated by the circle. And the right position is the timer, designated by the clock. The switch should be off in the middle position. The 6-way valve should be closed. The pump must never be turned on when the valve is in the closed position. Pressure buildup could lead to an explosive rupture. When turning the 6-way valve to other positions, the pump must be switched off. Plug the pump into a GFCI or RCD electrical outlet. Open the plunger valves by turning the plunger valve handles counterclockwise until they stop. Remove the cap from the drain waste port at the back of the 6-way valve. Attach a hose to the port. The other end of the hose should lead to a suitable drain. A separate hose is not provided for this port. You may use the hose between the outlet port on the 6-way valve and the upper plunger valve on the left after closing that plunger valve. Once you have connected the hose, depress the 6-way valve handle and turn it to backwash. You must depress the valve handle first, in order to turn it. Backwashing is the first step in flushing dirt and air out of your system. Turn the pump on. Water will circulate through the sand and out the drain waste port, pushing out any dirt or trapped air. Continue in the backwash mode until the water runs clear in the drain sediment window, located next to the drain waste port. Turn the pump off. Turn the 6-way valve to rinse. Turn the pump on and let it run for a minute. This will level out the sand after backwashing. Switch the pump off. Remove the hose from the 6-way valve drain waste port and replace the cap. If you use the hose between the pool and 6-way valve, replace it now and open the plunger valve. Turn the 6-way valve to filter. Turn the pump on. Water should be flowing into the pool from the pool upper connector, the inlet jet. You can adjust the direction of the inlet jet by hand. If you see bubbles coming up from the pool inlet, check that all connections are tight. If there is air in the leaf trap pre-filter, loosen the air release valve on top of the leaf trap until water runs out. Then retighten the valve. If necessary, follow the same procedure with the release valve at the bottom of the leaf trap. Note the pressure level on the pressure gauge. The pressure gauge is found on the 6-way valve next to the sediment window. Over time, as the filter cleans your water, dirt will accumulate in the sand and pressure will rise in the tank. Check the pressure gauge frequently. When the needle in the pressure gauge reaches the yellow zone, backwashing will be necessary. The power switch timer position will run the pump automatically for a set number of hours at the same time each day. To use the timer, set the timer dial to the desired number of hours. Check the filtration chart in the manual for the recommended number of hours for your pool. Press the clock icon for the timer mode at the hour of the day you would like the pump to operate. Leave the power switch set to the clock icon and the pump will operate at the same hour of the day every day for the number of hours set by the timer dial. Turn the power switch to the middle or off position to stop the timer. Before proceeding with any cleaning or maintenance to your pump, turn the pump off and disconnect the power cord. Close both plunger valves. Release pressure in the pump by opening the release valve at the bottom of the leaf trap housing. To clean the leaf trap pre-filter, unscrew the housing collar, remove the cover and O-ring, and take out the leaf trap basket. Remove any debris from the basket by hand or with a garden hose. Then replace the leaf basket, cover and O-ring, and screw the housing collar back onto the trap. It should be hand-tightened only. Close the release valve. With proper care and maintenance, your INTEX sand filter will give you years of clean, fresh water.